On February 17, 1872, three Filipino priests were executed for campaigning the secularization in the Philippines. The news spread far and wide, reaching a certain Pasiano Mercado. Now Pasiano had a strong influence on his brother, Jose Rizal. Jose Rizal, wherein the same national sentiment from the execution was instilled on the young Jose. Jose Rizal began to see the intricate degeneration of the colonial society. Political assimilation and affiliation was just a means to secure personal interests. And the rest of the masses comply and even exhibit the ill character of the betters. However, Rizal's significance stands in question for modern Philippine society, as his remarks of the social ills are intended to his time. Hence, we trace back modern problems to Rizal's intents and comments in his society with the assumption that his idea of his society evolves despite social dynamics. Political backing is a good example. Regardless of which position is occupied, once a favor has been carried from an influential figure, someone who may sit in an office, either by money or by promise of riches, it is obligatory to return the favor at the behest of the lobbyist, often exercised during the occupation. Government or private it may be, the position a person can possibly hold is seen as an indirect investment. Such investor and lobbyist is called the Pelaes, named after the El Filibusterismo character Don Timoteo Pelaes, which bribed to decree the destruction of lighthouses, making way for a demand of iron in the construction of new houses, which he readily has. The iron, he had a shipment of it beforehand. It is important to realize the nature of a Pelaes scheme because its potential cousin is gentrification. The increasing demand in the housing market requires a steady supply of steel, which is a component easier to hoard than aggregates. Another problem we see today is a perception of inferiority of the national language, Filipino. Renato Constantino's essay to make Rizal obsolete points that by adopting a foreign language is to also adopt its culture. The same behavior can be seen in Filipino cinema, especially in the 80s and 90s, where action films are simply a close duplicate of Western action films, less the movie setting. Today, modern Filipino content succumbs in popularity mainly against both Western and East Asian media. There is also the addition that modern Filipino cinema is having a hard time diverging from drama and romance genres, preventing the industry from finding its niche in its own home country. Many know Rizal for his fight for social reforms, but he is simply a commentator that clearly understood the social behaviors and problems which allowed him to source and state the problem, thus forms its solutions. And this makes him a great national model for others to also learn how to view their nation by criticizing social behavior and political actions and the relationship between the two, and not to jump to the bandwagon. Rizal cannot be made indefinitely obsolete, as some of his remarks of his society are social attributes, personal and cultural behavior also. And these cannot be cemented in legislation or be absolute as a constitution.